Now, what this guy says it all. Listen to this.
We have another one that didn't make it. And the craziest part about all of this is that no one saw it coming, and the chances of it happening again are definitely real.
Okay, that's interesting. So, he was talking about the recent flooding in the Brooklyn area of New York. And he said no one saw it coming, and it can definitely happen again. Well, let me play this clip from the same area 2 years ago. Listen to this.
With a big cleanup underway tonight. Safon?
Well, Sade, Justice stated the obvious, but this is not normal. What you're looking at is the lake inside Prospect Park flowing outside Prospect Park. It rained today. It rained a lot today, and Brooklyn bore the brunt of it. Go on.
That was 2 years ago when the remnants of Hurricane Ida hit New York. Same general area, same problem. Massive amounts of rain at one time without the infrastructure to be able to handle it. And what do the citizens do? What does the government do? It's kind of a key point because one of the things that I want to make sure that I talk about and hope to do my best to help others with is being prepared does not necessarily mean you're prepared for like a catastrophic disaster, World War III kind of thing. It's not necessarily that. It's just try to be prepared for anything. If it's gonna potentially change your life, try to be prepared for it. A good example of this is 2 years ago, it flooded in New York. Shocked. Everyone's shocked. Scrambling around. Streets are flooded. People died, unfortunately. And now, 2 years later, they're saying no one knew this was coming and it can happen again. Well, hopefully they're prepared for it next time. Hopefully they were prepared for it this time. My questions, and I hesitated on posting this video because what I wonder is, did the average person have the means to be prepared for this incident? It's a flood. It happens. Happens all around the world. It could happen here today. We're about to get rain. Did they happen to be prepared just in case? A good example of that would be when the streets of a major city flood, they're going to do two things real quick. The local municipality is going to shut the water off. The reason why is because the water flooding has just completely overwhelmed the wastewater system, and it's flooding up into the streets. Massive health and hygiene issue. And they're going to shut the water off, the culinary water, drinking water, just in case it potentially gets contaminated. That way residents, when they turn their tap on, they don't potentially get contaminated. Another thing they're going to do is shut off electricity. And the reason for that is electrocution hazard. So, two major things that most folks, especially in an urban environment, need: water and electricity. Okay, so did these folks have enough water on hand so when they went to turn on the tap and nothing came out, did they have water stored to be able to use? The other, most likely, these folks in that urban environment don't have gas-fired stoves, or wood stoves even. They definitely don't. The vast majority of people in that area are going to have electric stoves. They go to cook dinner for the family that night, the stove doesn't turn on. Were they prepared to be able to cook meals, heat water, boil the water they could get, whatever? And I've thought about this for days because really, I know a lot of people think that people that prepare are preparing for like the absolute worst. The end of days, that kind of thing. That's not me personally. Personally, I just like to be prepared in case something happens. I've kind of always been that way. More so the older I get, later on in life. And it just is mind-boggling to me that in those two examples that I played, that they didn't see it coming. They didn't know the potential. They did not fix the infrastructure, as an example, in the last 2 years. In an urban environment, they'll keep growing up and up and up and up because there's only so much space available, but they don't have the infrastructure to be able to handle that influx of population. So when a natural disaster happens, which it just rained, it just happened to rain a lot, about 4 to 5 inches depending on the area. They didn't have the capacity to handle that type of flow. And it affected a lot of people. People died. And it happened 2 years ago. Why wasn't it addressed? Why wasn't it fixed? It very well may have been. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't live there. I don't know. I wasn't a part of board meetings on the city council, anything like that. But I watch things like that, and I wonder, were they ready? Were they prepared? Makes you think. Are you prepared where you live? What could happen where you live? Are you okay for at least 3 days? To where if something happened and you had to hunker down, are you okay for at least 3 days? Feel free to comment below. I'd love to chat with you and see what your comments are. Thank you.